Welcome back to our Ecobee how-to series. This video is going to cover more heat pump with electric backup heat settings through the thresholds option. So this is more going to cover the actual operating settings of the system. We're going to cover two different staging options. This one's going to cover automatic staging. And the way we're going to get to that menu or those options is going to be through our menu screen, settings, and then we're going to select installation settings, advanced options. Quick recap: if you select equipment, it goes through your wiring and your equipment and all of its actual settings. This is the stuff that you adjusted when you first did that power up sequence, when you went through those initial settings. But if we go into our thresholds, we're going to see all the different operating parameters that the system's going to use. The first one's going to be auto heat cool. That just allows the system to bounce back and forth between heating and cooling on its own. Heat cool minimum delta. So that is for our automatic heating and cooling, and it just keeps the home within a range. So if we set this to 3 degrees, the homeowner is then able to set their AC to 73 degrees and their heat to 70, and the thermostat will operate back and forth between heating and cooling on its own to maintain that range. It'll keep the house within those temperatures. Again, this video is going to cover automatic staging, so we're going to leave that there. The first thing we're going to adjust is our auxiliary savings optimization. This setting is set to where it will not use the auxiliary heat unless we are so far from the temperature that we want. So if, in this case, a homeowner kept their thermostat set at 73 degrees, it will not turn the auxiliary heat on unless we're at least 2.9 degrees below that, so 70. We're going to go ahead and adjust that to 2 degrees. That way it'll keep the system a little bit closer to the temperature that they want, so they're less worried about maybe the house cooling down in the winter on those really cold days when the system's probably going to be struggling. Next is going to be auxiliary heat max outdoor. So this is the temperature outside when the thermostat will not try to use the 35 degrees. That means that if it picks up that we are warmer than 35 outside, it will not use the auxiliary. It will only attempt to use the heat pump. 35 is an okay temperature. It's a good idea to adjust that, to a higher number between 40, 45, 50. Not in the sense that it's going to use the auxiliary heat, but it's able to. So that way, if it is chilly outside, it's 48 degrees, and there's a problem with the heat pump, the thermostat has the ability to use the auxiliary. Compressor minimum cycle off time, that's just the short cycle delay essentially. You can leave that at 300. You can adjust it if you don't feel like waiting between the delays, if you want a shorter time period. Compressor minimum outdoor temperature, notice that says negative 10 degrees. We adjusted that during the initial power up sequence. You can adjust it again here, but we're going to leave it. AC overcool. This is a good idea if you've got a multi-staged unit. It essentially will run the air conditioner past the set point of the thermostat in order to get the humidity out. So say it's spring, so it's not super hot out, but it's incredibly humid, and their house is kind of humid. It will intentionally cool the system or the house more than a half a degree or a degree or whatever you set it below whatever they want the house to be to get that humidity out. We can leave it disabled. We might adjust it further on the service side if homeowners got some concerns after they've had a chance to use the unit. Auxiliary minimum on time, you can leave that set at 5 minutes. The compressor minimum on time, you can leave that at 5 minutes. Those are also adjustments that we might make on the service side depending on client comfort and concern with their system. And then there's the temperature and humidity correction. Sometimes these things get miscalibrated, or they might be picking up on residual heat because there's constantly a lamp right next to it that's turned on. We can make adjustments to compensate for that. And then if needed, there's an installer code that you can do, which will kind of lock all the settings out so a regular person or whoever else can't get into the thermostat and start making changes. That's how we're going to go ahead and make any of our automatic staging options. It's really simple this way. You don't get a whole lot of customization options, but it's a quick and easy way to get things set up.